All right, it's 7:38. Hey, that's the church, Acts 7:38. The church that was in the wilderness on Mount Sinai, receiving the lively oracles. That's how you know Israel is the church and the church is Israel. We are spiritual Jews. We're a spiritual Israel. It is not that land over there where the Antichrist is going to declare himself to be God. But I got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So let's go. Another bond tag. We did that one. Y'all's comments are just outstanding. No doubt about it. Polio is another one of their psyops. Absolutely. Thank you, Michael, for that. As a reminder, Trump will be in Houston with Bill O'Reilly on 12/18. Unbelievable. If he makes it that far. And I'm going to show you something. I mean, watch him pose as somebody on the cross, right? Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hands out. Like Jesus.
The weekend.
So if Mr. No Time to Die is telling you about the weekend, which is the snow full moon from IPEC Goat, when he and the weekend were together on Saturday Night Live. I mean, and remember, the snow full moon bounces, it portals back and forth with the solar eclipse from Donnie Darko. And there's a video I have to share with y'all that is just beyond reality. Let me show this to you here. Hang on.
If money has been the obstacle to you creating the films that you'd like to create, I want to remind you of something. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Elat here. I'm a working writer, director.
The actor.
Well, I had such a hard time there. It was like glitching big time. So it's called Why No Time to Die is the Perfect Ending. Feature Daniel Craig video essay from Film Speak. You're not going to believe it. They're all about on Her Majesty's Secret Service, but they flash at the 8:28 mark. Watch this.
Blowingly original and creative fever dream.
11:17. Now, and there's the movie Maniac. So we need to look that up. Now, that's Wednesday's date, which I'm super high on. And because it's Zechariah 11:17, which the last event called 9/11, in my opinion, was solely based off Revelation 9/11. People go, well, that's Jesus's birthday. Don't give me that. You don't know when Jesus was born. So stop it. But I will tell you, Revelation 9/11 is about the angel of the bottomless pit, Apollo and Apollyon, and Trump's got Apollo in Trump Tower. So I think it's more along those lines. What do you think? Now, we don't believe in coincidences, but we do understand there are coincidences. And we understand that they float things out there to confuse us. And we also understand that the Holy Spirit also throws us synchronicities, which I've been showing y'all how my whole life's been like a bag of numbers that have all pointed to my life, death of a friend, divorce of my second wife, really both wives, but mainly my second wife, and how everything pointed to the end times once we got here. I never understood what the numbers meant. The Lord kept having me bang away at them. And then finally, when the whole Trump thing came about, I started learning about gematria and the 88. And I was like, well, gee, that's her second marriage number progression. Two different ways, 8 plus 8 or 87 to 88, or the 8 next to the 8, you know, a double 8, like a single 8, then a double, you know, anyway. So the Lord throws us synchronicities. So if this is a coincidence, is that the Holy Spirit? Well, later on, you just get the 117. And what we can do, let me pause with y'all and fast forward through a little bit. By the way, Maniac slasher film released May 26th at Cannes, January 2nd, y'all, which is my big day. That's the new moon. That's that big day I was saying. And there's June 21st, which is a solar eclipse date and the summer solstice date. But hey, there's January 2nd with Maniac. And that was the 11/17. So I think it's happening 11/17 and January 2nd. Well, what if one is pointing to the other? That's freaky. Anyway, hang on. Oh, and it flows right into this movie, It.
Maniac, the co-writer on It chapter.
Boom. So go from Maniac to he was a co-writer on It.
1. That.
So yeah, let me keep going because it gets better, or sort of. I don't know if it gets any better than that. It's a 40-minute video on No Time to Die. They pop this off at us. 203, which is the combo of my QAnon girl I almost married, the pilot down in West Palm. That's our first 3 digits. There's the 88. But there's the 11th. I mean, not 11. There's the 117 of the full moon, the wolf full moon. Boom, bada bang, boom. Again, coincidences. I totally get that there's coincidences. But we also totally, we're these people that say there are no coincidences, but we also understand there are coincidences. We also understand they work to mislead us. And we also understand that the Lord will throw us synchronicities through their world, which they will literally say, we didn't really plan that. That's just something that happened, but it's the Holy Spirit synchronicity to us. You know, it's all part of the metaphysical world. There's the Holy Spirit connected to the metaphysical world. I mean, Daniel was able to interpret dreams, but there's Satanists and Luciferians that can also channel entities and tell you, make you think that they're channeling your grandparents that are dead by telling you what kind of colored, what type of car and what colored car you drove when you were 16 years old. And people just start bursting out in tears. And it's because they're channeling spirits. Well, you know, we like to think we channel the Holy Spirit. So coincidence? Could be. Them misleading us? Could be. Them giving us a blues clue, which they do have to do, but not everything is something where they're giving us a blues clue. Or is it the Holy Spirit talking to us through their stuff, which to them meant nothing, but to us means everything. So that was something else I wanted to show you. It seemed like there was something at the 10-minute mark I wanted to show you too. So that's about as far as I got last night. Watch this while I was eating. Let me pause, try to find it. By the way, they're comparing this also to You Only Live Twice, which is, of course, what the Antichrist does. Comes back from the dead.
Bond, but No Time to Die is the most Fleming and least traditional Bond we've ever.
Except compared to commentary, fair use. Oh, nice little hand signal there that he's throwing because they stand like that. And y'all know where they stand like that. Y'all look at him over here on the far left. Now let me show you the statues of these like Egyptian. Well, let me pause. I don't want to waste your time. Hang on. Yeah, they're standing there like this. Pagans, Nimrod, Babylon. See how they're standing, these statues? And here's others. And And now you go back to the video. Look at this cat over there. That's not an accident. The time is 3:45. Anyway.
Craig's fifth film is almost a perfect adaptation of the novel You Only Live Twice.
You only live twice. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, hang on. Let me find something else for you. Because it starts to get into On Her Majesty's Secret Service, of course.
On having a daughter, and interviews a reverse On Her Majesty's Secret Service that never feels like a
Boom. Back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So let me maybe jack it down to 1.5 and make sure I don't get a copyright
forced
strike.
nostalgia ploy and more of a necessary story beat. He embraces the personal
Commentary, fair use commentary. Let me just pause. I'll get to it. Again, comparing it to On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
perfectly saturated and vibrant palettes into this film, making for the best damn looking Bond film you've
Best Bond film you've ever seen since. Let me bring it back to
perfectly saturated and vibrant palette into this film, making for the best damn
ooh, the best Bond film since
looking Bond film you've ever seen
commentary fair use
since On Her Majesty's Secret Service
again, which was released on the cold full moon of December 18th, which portals over to Groundhog Day, my divorce date, which remember that was all linked to the 88, which Gematria's to cellar door and 201. But he could die way before that. Now, one of y'all made the comment he could rise on the third day, and I was like, they're new, and I'm like, hey, that's what we've always been saying. It's going to rise on the third day. Well, Jesus rose on the third day from the dead, but he didn't ascend into heaven until 40 days after he rose. And so we always hearken back to the IPEC goat ascension, which is if we go to the 16th and go back 43 days, what day is that giving us? It's giving us January 4th. And, you know, we like January 2nd. We also like January 5th because the insurrection happened on the following day. And we know that this whole earth is going to be under rioting insurrection type situations the following day. So that's a day off from that. And if he really died on the 4th, then you've got the 5th for calamity begin, but then you got the 6th for like all out Washington getting smashed back at the same location it did last time. So, and look at January 4th, y'all, till Tuesday. Boom. So we can't, you know, we're going to remember these dates. Y'all got to help me remember these, because how many amazing dates do we have? I don't know, about 20. So let's continue. I'll be here forever. Y'all know me. So on 12/18, there it is. As a reminder, Bill will be in Houston. Trouble being in Houston. Bill O'Reilly on 12/18. The Houston Astros lost the World Series. We had the recent Astro World event in Houston. The singer Astro from UB40 died on 11/6. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The singer Astro from UB40. And I said, just rethought of tonight that Zechariah 11:17 is the actual right eye Bible verse. That's not, yeah. But love what you stated in below 2. Keep them coming. In below 2, he said, there is 1/4 and 4/1 surrounding the 288s and the number sequences that you showed from No Time to Die. Well, I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I love it. And Schultz said this year's Super Bowl is 56, written out LVI. 516, it's Long Island area code. LVI is 12229 in simple gematria. But anyway, I can dig it. Thank you, Mr. Christian Schultz, who I think also talked about the ascension. I'm not sure. He's on here a lot now commenting, so we love it. Keep him coming. At 3645, can't help but notice the exact Bible passage that you just mentioned in Revelation 17:10. Looks like the image. You have 5 people face 5 kings that have come, 6th and 7th. There are 2 large red circles on the right, and finally X marks the spot, the blue circle overlaying. The angel White gave us, in our opinion, or in my opinion, the 7 kings, 5 have fallen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he is the 8th. You also have what they're telling us is potentially Nebuchadnezzar, Darius III, or Darius the Mede, Alexander the Great, which are 2 different people, but 2 different Darius, by the way. I think it might be Darius the Mede, and who was also saved. Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Hitler, Antiochus, the 4th Epiphanes. And so he's the 7th end of the 8th. And, you know, that's Hitler's birthday on that solar eclipse, 2023. And Trump said what really helps us think that that's possibly the deal is the all cut from the same cloth.
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump, we're all cut from the same cloth.
So if Napoleon and Alexander the Great and Donald Trump are all cut from the same cloth, that really gave us the clue that we needed, where it says Napoleon, Alexander the Great, and Donald Trump. So we think that that's what they're talking about as far as these various mystery Babylonian kingdoms throughout time. And let's continue on. I am here. Let's keep going. And thank you, Christian. Just keep them coming, man. On October 1st, Biden was answering questions from reporters that he gave a reply that said, it doesn't matter. When it doesn't matter whether it's 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 weeks. Yeah, we remember that 666, but Michael's going to give us some clues here. We're going to get it done. Obviously, he's giving us a 666, but using the starting date of 10/1/21, which is 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 hours, which lands on 11/18, which got me started on the 11/17. I was first into 11/18 because I was looking at some gematria items and the number 11/18 popped up. I can't. Oh, it was NYPD. It was the hats that Colby Chaos Covington had, NYPD FDNY, and when I gematria'd those combined, 11/18 did come up. So I'm telling you, after 11/17, I'll be all over 11/18. Boom, because maybe Jesus died on a Thursday, and that's on a Thursday. So we just keep going. Thank you, Michael. Good stuff. Okay, so we're finished with that. Now, I looked up famous birthdays of people born on November 17th, and Lorne Michaels was one of them. RuPaul. But Lorne Michaels is Studio 8H, which means 88, and he's been there forever and a day. So, you know, and of course, Martin Scorsese, Danny DeVito, a lot of other people. And, you know, there's that old thing called 6 degrees of separation, but there was a thing called 6 degrees of an actor born on my birthday, by the way. Famous people born, Kevin Bacon, never mind. His birthday, oh, it says July 8th. But anyway, it was 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, which was an old spoof.
According to Wikipedia, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or Bacon's Law is a parlor game where players challenge each other to arbitrarily choose an actor and then connect them to another actor via a film that both actors have.
So if you connect and connect and connect and connect and connect, you eventually, within 6 connections, you can always get back to Kevin Bacon. And these people knew every single movie that everybody had been in, so they were able to do it really quickly. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. You know, 6 degrees from, we're drawing all these connections to dates based off anything we can get a hold of, which is kind of why we're always all over the place with all these different dates. But at the end of the day, we really have to stick to I Pet Goat, Donnie Darko, and anything James Bond, but especially No Time to Die and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. You Only Live Twice, Wikipedia. And I would think this one would be big also. June 12th. And there's the 117. There's the 117 for the wolf full moon. So 117 minutes long. So let's keep going, finish up with comments. And y'all's comments, you know, drive this channel, by the way. I can make entire videos just off your comments. Well, Christian Schultz is really, he's hitting us hard now, isn't he? A lot of stuff about Tesla. Y'all need to go and look at his comments. I might not have time to read all of these. His comments are on part 2 re-upload, No Time to Die, which that was a good video, right? Because we got deep on that one. Just something else that popped in my mind. It happens on the 17th. And he returns on the 20th morning after the eclipse. It will almost be like in the tomb rising on the 3rd day, which, yes. YouTube keeps blocking sharing info. Look up Titan Point. It is not central office. Michael, you know, look at all these comments he's making because he might have something really good here. I just don't want to read all of these. Talked about Tesla and he had some Tesla items there. So thank you, Christian, for that. So is there anything else? List of Saturday Night Live guests. That's what I wanted to find out, like how many times Daniel Craig hosted, because what if he hosted on November 17th? Or what if he hosted on December 2nd? You know what I mean? Which is 2 days before he would rise on the 3rd day. So December 2nd has to be a big day, rising on the 3rd day and then ascending on the cold full moon, wolf full moon, or snow full moon. And if we key in let's key in the wolf full moon date and go backwards 43 days. You get a December 5th down date. And now let's key in ascending from the cellar door cold full moon date, but go back 43 days, you get November 5th. We've already passed it. So nothing seems like it's going to hit 43 days on a full moon other than that January 4th date. That January 4th date looked like it had a lot of potential, in my opinion. because we're into the Donnie Darko calendar. But Donnie goes back and dies on October 2nd, which would be. But maybe that's why Trump has the 45. Because, you know, Trump's all about that 45, right? Because if you go back from that snow full moon 45 days, you do get January 2nd. So rising on the third day would be the 5th, and then ascending out through. And don't forget about that transfer portal commercial. When number 4 goes in for the solar eclipse, but number 17 comes out, that could be November 17th. And they just reversed everything. Because it is a transfer portal. And Dr. Pepper, I think, has 23 flavors for 23 chromosomes. Dr. Pepper's 23 flavors. But if they're doing transfer portal, then go back through the portal 23 days. When you portal 23 days, guess what you land on? The December 18th, cellar door 201 for event 201, both in gematria, to December 18th or 18, can't remember which. Cold full moon. Which seems to be the biggest date that keeps coming up. But you don't know if he dies on the 17th of one month and then on the 18th, nuclear stuff goes down or all out war begins. I mean, we don't know. Only one thing's going to point to his death, but there's many other things that'll be taking place. But at the risk, by the way, George Carlin was the first guest on Saturday Night Live, or first host. Okay. And Daniel Craig hosted in March, by the way. And then he was on there with The Weeknd. I'll put both these videos down there in the description. 45 days from the snow full moon. Trump likes that number 45. The QAnon people. QAnon says Trump is associated with the number 45. Well, the Anons are actually his followers, QAnon followers. Let me just say Q. The 45th, why Trump is abandoning his iconic brand for Trump has 45 embroidered on his shirt cuffs. See, it's like a branding of him. Like 45 is like, you know, we keep telling him 88. And let me tell you something about text to Trump 88022. Y'all remember how I relate all of this back to my ex-wife? And that's how you text to Trump. And her and her first husband, the first two combined, remember, he was, you take the year, month, and day. So he was August 10th, 1971, and she was October 28th, 1973. Well, you multiply all of that together, that's their combined, it was both of their first marriage. So that was their marriage number. And it began, the first two digits were 87. So her second marriage progression to me would be 88. Or if you go 8, and then another 8, you get, by the way, you're going to love this. When you go Donald J. Trump, you get both of her third marriage progressions, which that's why I said when she gets married for a third time is when everything's going to go down, because 888, that would be her third marriage, since her marriage number was what? First digit was an 8. So that's her marriage single digit number, which does not progress. You progress it like this, 8, then to me was 88, and her third marriage would be 888. Or her first marriage was 87. To me, it was 88, and her third marriage would be 89. So you've got 2 different ways her third marriage number progression comes to Donald J. Trump. That's why everything about, remember, her birthday is October 28th, which, you know, AWTR just did a whole video on everything related to October 28th. And so text to Trump, 88. That was my marriage to her. Well, we were divorced on February 2nd, Groundhog Day, which portals back to let me make sure. I get confused. I think, yeah. When you add it, it goes to my divorce date. When you subtract it, it goes to December 18th. Our big date. Portals back to my divorce date to her. So there it is, Groundhog Day's date. And it's got the 02 in the middle. Remember, that's the number Earl wore, the guy that died. If y'all go back to all that number stuff. And you'd have to scroll way down on my channel to find it. But it has a numbers thumbnail. All these numbers. I'm coming out of the closet with y'all with numbers. And I guess I'll put that in the description too, if you want to watch it. It's absolutely some, you know, crazy anomalies, mathematical synchronicities. How my number times her number. I'm 7'6". 7 times 6 times 1961 gives you 82362 times her number times each year, 627, 127, 627, 120, you know, all these numbers back and forth, same number in the middle, and so on and so forth. It explains a lot of just crazy stuff. So that text to Trump 88022, that's a big deal, right? Because there's the 02 for Earl, who died. That all of his numbers related to my second marriage and divorce, which all related to my second wife and Donald Trump. And so the 22 stands for 22 trump cards in the tarot card deck. And in the major arcane, you have a 78 card pack, but there's 22 trump cards. Now, is the 22 trump cards there because he's going to die, which opens the book of Revelation on Groundhog Day, which is the same story repeating itself over and over when you watch that movie. And what's the same story that keeps repeating is the book of Revelation. Every time you read it, it's the same story. You can't get out of it. And that movie was about him breaking out of it. Breaking out of repeating what had seemed to be a rut that he was locked into and established in. So these are just outside the box things for us to all kind of bounce around and think about.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Now, if he goes down on the 2nd, don't forget, Eye of the Tiger begins on February 1st, the year of the tiger. And that's the new moon. The new moon is February 1st, which also is the Chinese New Year. So if you kick this to February and go to the 22nd at our Eastern time zone here in Los Estados Unidos, just after the 31st. I mean, so theoretically, it is on the 31st in England. But the 2nd would be a waxing crescent. And in iPet Goat, you get that crescent when he goes down. Where's iPet Goat? And let me find it for you real quick. When he's gone down, you do have a crescent. So because that's just after he's gone down and the La Palma waters hit. And we think that La Palma waters, La Palma or some type of tidal, what's, you know, something goes down right after he goes down, because it shows the towers going down, which is him going down. The two trumps, commentary fair use. Commentary fair use. There's event 201 right there. Look at that. It's 201 on the clock. 201 of the 727, which of course was Earl's birthday, 727. And my second wife's current live-in boyfriend's birthday is also 727, which would be what? When she marries him, they've been engaged for years. So it's like we're just waiting on them to get married for everything to pop. And that's when the horn blows. The horn begins to blow right there in iPet Goat, which the trump is the horn is the trump. And there you go. Just after that, you get the crescent. So he could theoretically what are we trying to say? A lot of things have pointed, you know, to February 1st, February 2nd. He could go down on February 2nd and then rise up through that snow full moon. Well, what does that have to do with the solar eclipse? Well, I don't know. And therein lies the rub. Nothing seems to match perfectly. So anyway, video is long enough. Oh, I told you I'd say that movie for you, didn't I? Yes, I did. All right, love y'all. Look at the description. I'll have it all in there.